March TBR, or what I want to do, what I want to read in March. God, I need to get better at talking. It's like I suck at saying the words I want to say to come out of my mouth, if that makes any sense. Sometimes I just don't make sense. Anyway, yeah, let's get started. Oh, okay, God, I honestly, so I did do the little TikTok thingy to determine how many books I'm gonna read in March, and I believe I got 15 books. Yeah, so I read 14 last month, so let's see if I can read 15. I used to be able to do how many days were in the month, sometimes more than that. Back in 2021, I guess I had more time. Anyway, you know, honestly, I don't know where to start. So I want to read Priest, Sinner, and Saint. These books have been on my TBR since like April 22. Yeah, so I want to read those. I'm kind of in like a dark romance kind of thing, but I still picked some like just smutty romance, you know, stuff that wasn't dark. Like, dang, I was about to click on a book, but it's definitely not sweet. It's definitely dark. Let's go with this one. So I want to read So Not Meant to Be by Megan Quinn. Again, I've had this book for a while sitting on my TBR. I bought it on Kindle and it's literally just been sitting there waiting for me to read, but then I'll find another book on, let's say, TikTok, for example, and be like, which is more appealing, the one I already bought or the one I just saw on TikTok that says I should read? Let's go with the one I saw on TikTok. Yeah. All right, next, something that has been sitting borrowed from Kindle Unlimited for months is this book. It's called The Devil Heir by Rachel Leigh. I want to say this one is like a stepbrother romance. Also, I think I found it via TikTok. That's how I find all my books. So yeah, that's another one I want to read. Think, how many books is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm already at 5 books. Oh my God. Then I want to read, see, I know this is a series, but I'm not gonna choose the entire series because I've actually never read this author, so I don't know how I feel about it. Or have I read this? No, I haven't read this author. It is Hunting Eden by V.H. Nicholson. I hope I said that right. Yeah, I haven't read that. Again, I'm in my dark girl romance kind of phase, but I'm still trying to put other things in there. So the next book I definitely found on TikTok, but I found it like 8 months ago on TikTok, and it's been sitting borrowed in my Kindle Unlimited. You know how Kindle Unlimited lets you borrow books? It's been sitting over there in that unread Kindle Unlimited function for like months. It is Revenge Cake by Skylar Mason. Honestly, I do think cheating was involved in this book. So for some people that may be like a no. Me, not so much. Next up, again, this is another one that has been sitting borrowed on my Kindle Unlimited account for months, since probably it was released, honestly. I actually don't remember when it was released, but it's been sitting there for a while. So I'm gonna go with a couple months. It's Tease by Melanie Harlow. I actually do like her. She is a nice, I'm not gonna say she's a nice reader, she's a nice writer, but I do like her books a lot. Like, I read them a lot. I actually enjoyed them. And then next up, this one is a sweet, I'm not gonna say sweet because it has smut in it. It is a hockey romance, and I haven't really read a sports romance in a while. So actually, I haven't read a sports romance since January. This is a hockey romance. It's called The Penalty Shot by Maren Moore. I really like her books also. It's not the first book I've read of hers. Next up, I've had this saved on my Kindle. Like, I bought this book because, you know, I'm obsessed with Pride and Prejudice. So I bought this book because it's supposed to be a modern version of Pride and Prejudice. I've had it saved on my Kindle for, I want to say, like over a year now, and I have not touched it because I want to say I found it at like the end of 2021, but it wasn't really fitting with what I was reading at the moment. So yeah, definitely want to read that one. Next up is honestly the entire series by Kate, what's her name? Kate Stewart, The Flock, Exodus, and The Finish Line. Again, I think I bought this March of 2022 and it's March of 2023 now. I still haven't read it. I really want to read it because like I see people posting TikToks about it and I'm like, I'm freaking clueless. I want to know what they know. So maybe I'll read it this month, maybe not, who knows. I hope I do. Oh my god, how many books am I up to? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm at 13 books. Oh my god. Okay, so this is also dark. I absolutely love this author. She writes purely dark romance. I have like I have a lot of books by her on my bookcase. Bookshelf. Bookcase. Let's go with bookcase. Yeah. This one I started forever ago. Let's say January or February. But then I ended up reading the book that's supposed to come before this one. Before I read this one. So even though I opened it, I read like 2 pages and then switched to her other book. Did I even include that in my wrap up? Oh, I don't think I did. Oh, I fucked up. So I did read more than 14 books in freaking February. I knew I didn't mess up on my counting. Anyway, this one is The Sinner by Chantal Tessier. I think that's how you pronounce her name, right? If it's wrong, correct me. I definitely read The Ritual. So I started this and then I moved on to The Ritual. Read that and then I was gonna come back to this, which is why I put it in my TBR for the month of March. So hopefully I do read it. Next up, I really don't want to read this, but I really do want to read this. So I'm obsessed with Lauren Asher. And I'm obsessed with all her books, especially Iris. Oh my god, I love her so freaking much. But I don't want to read The Final Offer by her because it's the last book in that series and I'm just not ready for it to be over. Like, that is honestly my only reason, because I bought the book, pre-ordered it before it came out and everything. So when it came out, it's been sitting in my Kindle, just sitting there. And like, I want to read it, but I don't. So it's honestly just been sitting there. Yeah. Next up, this one could be viewed as problematic for some people because I know some people don't like this author. I'm not really sure why, because I don't really get into the authors, like their lives and whatever. So I just kind of just read the books and I judge books based on the work that's put into the books. I don't really, if that makes sense. I separate the art from its author, if that makes sense. Unless the only time I actually look into an author is if like I'm absolutely obsessed with them. Like Lauren Asher, Chantal Tessier, or Penelope Douglas, or who else did I have on? Anna Hung, I think that's how you say her name. Or I have Gianna Darling, Lila James, Clara Elroy, and Sav R. Miller is on my shelf. And Lucy Score. Those are like some of my top authors that I keep up with. But this one that I would like to read is Thorn Princess by L.J. Sheen. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that out there. Next up that I want to read is Misfit by L. Kennedy. I bought the book because I had a gift card. Let me correct that. I found a gift card to Books A Million while I was in American Eagle. Checked to see if it had money. No, it did. So I used it because when I found it, no one was around. It was literally just sitting there. So I used it. Screw me. But I typically don't buy a book that I haven't read to put on my bookcase. So it's still not sitting on my bookcase. Yeah, so only books I buy on my bookcase are books I've read and that are my favorites. I don't have money like that just to be buying books that I don't ever plan on reading to put on my bookcase. You know what I mean? struggling with life over here. So yeah, Misfit by Elodie. God, I can't talk. Misfit by L. Kennedy. That one is a college swim romance, if I believe. Getting back into sports romance now. Are we, Infinity? Yes, we are. This one, I actually have already read 2 other books of this series in March. I probably should have included them because I read a couple books. It's like March. What is the date? It's March 4th. I've already read like 5 books this month already. I didn't include them in the TBR because I already read them, but I probably should have. Anyway, this book is Broken Playboy by Laura Lee. And then the next one is the 3rd book of that series, because that was the 4th book. The 3rd one of that series, which was Fallen Heirs by Laura Lee. I read book 1 and book 2. I finished book 2 last night, and then the previous night I finished book 1. So I didn't include that in there. And then, God, how many books do I have on this TBR? We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 books. Oh my God, do I really think I'm gonna read that? Maybe. So, another book that's been sitting on my freaking Kindle borrowed library is Ferreira by T.L. Swan. It's been sitting there for months. I feel like it's calling my name. Will I read it? Maybe. I hope so. Probably not. And then I read the first book in this series, like when it came out, but then I haven't read any book since of that series. So Twisted, Wretched, Scarred by Emily McIntyre. I think that's how you say her last name. Yeah, so that's definitely on my TBR. Hopefully I read it, but again, this list grows longer by the day. Honestly, by the minute. I keep adding stuff to it. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Another one I wanted to read was Under Lock by Mariana Zapata. I bought this book and have not touched it. It has been sitting in my Kindle library, bought and paid for, and I have not read it at all. Like, why do I keep doing this to myself? I'm gonna skip through some of these because some of these I screenshotted for a TikTok. Yeah. So I read, what is it? The Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. So I definitely want to read. It's been sitting in my library because I bought it since last month, or I think it came out last month. Whenever it came out, I think it came out in February 2023. It's been sitting in my Kindle library since I bought it because I pre-ordered it. The Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. And then obviously this had to be on my TBR because this book, the series, left me on a cliffhanger, and it's Wild Thing by Lexi Ray. It comes out, I believe, March 24th, 2023. So gotta read that. So that's a must read. We already know that's gonna get read. What else? Oh, I've been trying to read this series for months, but every time I get around to it, I'm like, should I read it? Should I not? Like, it's just been sitting there, kind of like taunting me. But I still haven't read it. It is The Haunting. Well, the book 1 is what? Haunting Adelaide. And the second one is Hunting Adelaide by H.G. Carlton. Still haven't read it. Do I want to read it? Yes, absolutely. Will I? Question mark. Okay, next. Another series I bought that has been sitting in my Kindle library. Oh my God, I feel so bad. So I buy the books, put them in my Kindle library for me to read. But then I'll get on TikTok and I'll be on Book Talk and they'll be making these like interesting little TikToks. I'm like, dang, I should read that. Go to Kindle Unlimited. Oh, it's available on Kindle Unlimited. Click, read, screw my TBR. That's honestly what it is. All right, next is There Are No Saints and There Is No Devil by Sophie Lark. Again, I bought these in my Kindle library. Have I touched them? No, they've been sitting there for months, absolutely months, and they have not been touched whatsoever. And lastly, I want to read the Sinners Anonymous series. So we got Sinners Anonymous, Sinners Consumed, and Sinners Condemned by Some Sketcher. I think that's how you pronounce that. I'm not entirely sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, how many books does that make? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. And that doesn't even include the books I already read this month. Oh my God. What number did I just say? I feel like I said 33. How many books did I read this month already though? Let me check. Open, Sesame, Goodreads. I have read Wicked Liars by Laura Lee this month, and Ruthless Kings by Laura Lee this month, and Andrea the Beginning by Adriana Bryn this month. Oh, and that's why I didn't include The Ritual in my February wrap-up, because I finished it on March 1st at like 2 a.m. in the morning, so it counts for Marches. But yeah, I read that, The Ritual by Chantel Tessier. So I already read 4 books. 4 books. 1 per day, because it is March 4th. What can I say? I'm off to a good start. I'm not gonna lie, doing this booktube channel thing is a little bit easier than I thought it was gonna be. I don't know why I didn't start sooner. But yeah, those are the 30-something books I plan to read in March. We will see if I actually complete that or not. Probably not. But we're gonna think positive, so I am gonna complete it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you don't like, what you do like. That's all I have. Bye.